Thank you for visiting Wealthy Coins again. This leak has officially validated the Shiba Inu bull run. Updates on SHIB today. The Shiba Inu community is delighted with SHIB's January performance, but as the month draws to a close, market anxiety has set in again. However, as we near the end of the month, the market is once again filled with uncertainty, particularly in relation to its performance in February. Most significantly, the portfolios of Shiba Inu holders are expected to be affected by the forthcoming FOMC meeting. Shiba Inu holders can have a better grasp of how the FOMC meeting impacts their portfolio by having a solid grasp of what the meeting entails. The modification of the federal fund rate is a major highlight of the meetings, which take place every 3 weeks. Banks borrow money from the Federal Reserve at this rate. Here in this video we'll go over the details of the Shiba Inu bull run that this leak has confirmed. Breaking news from SHIB today. If you enjoyed this and want to see more, subscribe to the channel and give it a big thumbs up. Now let's get the video started. In order to maintain economic stability, the Federal Reserve employs the federal fund rate. Borrowing money becomes more affordable at a lower rate, which facilitates investment by making liquidity more accessible. A higher rate, however, makes borrowing money less attractive and reduces investment. As a component of its quantitative tightening strategy to control inflation, the Federal Reserve raised the federal fund rate during most of 2022. Following the most recent FOMC meeting, Shiba Inu and the market as a whole saw a positive increase. Reason being, last month the Fed announced a 0.75 percentage point hike to interest rates, but this month they only announced a 0.5% increase, or 50 basis points. The market saw the Fed's decision to reduce the FFR as an indication that they were easing off on their aggressive rate hike plans. Reports that the Federal Reserve achieved some success in combating inflation preceded this. The FOMC is next expected to meet on January 31st and February 1st. Many believe the Federal Reserve will increase the federal funds rate FFR by 25 basis points. Renewing purchasing pressure on SHIB might occur if this proves to be accurate, as it would lend credence to optimistic views. With that result, it would be able to break over the $0.0000123 price level, which has been acting as resistance for the past several days. Assuming a rally materializes, Shiba Inu investors can anticipate a price jump of up to 14% to the subsequent Fibonacci barrier level. Shiba Inu prices can fall again if the rate increase is much bigger than that. In the event of a 10% or larger correction, it will likely return to levels near or below its 200-day moving average. The market can sometimes respond in advance of the official release of the FOMC minutes. Some have hypothesized that this is due to the fact that those in influential positions are aware of the Federal Reserve's rate decision prior to its official announcement. This means that some market players may have special access that gives them an advantage when making decisions. Shiba Inu's weighted sentiment meter did show a small increase over the past 2 days, which is rather interesting. Perhaps this means that market optimism is on the rise again. In light of the current consensus that a 25 basis point increase is likely, this does not prove that investors predict another jump. At the same time, price volatility has been rather low over the past several days, but we may soon see another spike. This is due to the fact that this week's trading activity could be influenced by the FOMC data. The results are the same as what is shown by the exchange flows. While supply outside of exchanges has been steadily rising, it has fallen sharply on exchanges in recent days. A bearish pivot might yet happen at any moment, particularly if the FOMC opts for a more substantial rate hike than expected. Now that the official data is out, the directional momentum is expected to increase. The following trend presents potential for short-term gains that SHIB traders and investors can seize. In the past week, Benzinga has looked at the future of many investors' favorite equities. The tech-heavy Nasdaq led the markets higher this week, continuing the positive atmosphere that began 2023 on Wall Street. Final week results included a 2.37% increase for the S&P 500, a 1.81% increase for the Dow Industrials, and a 4.32% increase for the Nasdaq. The U.S. Department of Commerce announced on Thursday that GDP increased 2.9% in the fourth quarter, which was more than the 2.6% increase that economists had predicted. Following a 5.5% gain in November and below economists' projections of a 5.5% gain, the Personal Consumption Expenditures Price Index climbed 5% in December, according to Friday's report by the Bureau of Economic Analysis. A couple of popular meme cryptocurrencies include SHIB and Doge. As a component of the Shiba Inu project, the SHIB token is part of the Ethereum network. Although the cryptocurrency Doge initially emerged in 2013 as a joke, it has now amassed a sizable user base. You should think of both of them as high-risk investments due to their extremely volatile prices. For a long time, Dogecoin was the only meme coin that people knew about. As a result of speculative investments and sudden market declines, we frequently witness enormous rallies. One such rival that has been around since 2020 is the Shiba Inu coin. A spoof of Dogecoin is what this is being marketed as. Compared to Dogecoin, Shiba Inu has fared better during this period. This is understandable given that the initiative is in its infancy. The risk outweighs the potential reward in this case. The Shiba Inu might have been another meme currency that bombed or had a very small price increase. Compared to Dogecoin, the risk with the Shiba Inu coin in 2023 is higher, but the payout might be even higher. Dogecoin might be better off with the Shiba Inu, since meme coins are so dangerous to invest in. A senior executive at Cyber Capital, an investment firm, has stated that Dogecoin, Doge and Shiba Inu, three meme coins with a doc theme, are among the most decentralized digital assets available. Chief Investment Officer Justin Bonds informs his Twitter followers that 32 of the top 50 crypto assets, including Doge and SHIB, are theoretically decentralized. There are only 32 truly decentralized cryptocurrencies out of the 50 most popular ones. Despite the fact that decentralization is a spectrum concept, we can still answer yes or no. Always bear in mind that the truth as it stands in theory may not always hold water in reality. After a strong start to the new year, the price of Shiba Inu is beginning to cool down. The digital coin has increased in value by 60% since January 1st, giving the Shiba Inu price a new narrative all its own. If you believe whale stats, the top Ethereum whale's usage of Shiba Inu smart contracts and tokens is unparalleled. The Shiba Inu beta launch has sparked a great deal of interest in Shiba Inus. The chief developer of Shiba Inus, Shytoshi Kusama, has dropped indications that Valentine's Day, February 14th, would be the premiere date of Shibarium. Although they have bought Shiba Inus in the midst of the Shibarium debut, whales are selling SHIB till December. Among the smart contracts bought by the top Ethereum whales in the last day, Shiba Inu has been the most popular. With a 2% increase over the past 24 hours, the current price of SHIB is $0.00000120 Shiba Inus may still have a lot of room to grow in the next few months. Shiba Inu could see a surge in popularity after the release of Shibarium. The new Layer 2 blockchains promise many improvements such as faster transactions, more scalability, and less overall transaction costs. Additionally, Shibarium may allow for the burning of billions of tokens. Like any other product, cryptocurrency is subject to the rules of supply and demand. The price will rise if there is a sharp reduction in the supply of shipping tokens and no change in demand. People are still interested in SHIB,